Alright everyone, welcome back to the shop. Been a couple days, got everything unpacked and got settled back in after drifting this weekend. And as you may have noticed in that video and in the competition, there was a certain car missing that's been in a couple of other videos. It is now here in the shop and it needs a little work. So we got Wes's 240 here, check it out. Okay, so the deal with Wes's car and why it's here is that on the practice day we went out and we did 2 runs and it started overheating really badly. And that's now history of overheating with this car. When we were out at Hallett, it had some overheating issues, and we know the system has water, we know it's got good pressure, we've checked the cap. It's time to dig into this and figure out actually what's wrong, and the motor's also struggles to start at this point, so we're going to dive in and see what we can figure out on this thing. And this thing is running a crate motor LS3 with the big Magnuson supercharger kit. It also runs Pro EFI engine management, and it's got the little Pro EFI display in there. It's got a nice little ARC PDM setup. Okay, so I pulled out the plugs and gave them a quick look, but everything on these plugs looks really good. I mean, they all look actually really good and identical. So that didn't tell us anything. I did a compression test, and though my compression tester probably doesn't read that accurately, it showed about 145 to 148 on all cylinders except for this one. We need to run a leak down on this cylinder and see if something's up with that. Yeah, definitely something of concern here. So 22% down on this cylinder, not good, and that's coming by the rings, so that's not good. Let's check another cylinder just to compare. Okay, here we are on the cylinder next to it, so that's quite a bit better. It's not amazing, but quite a bit better. Probably gonna get the borescope out. I want to look in those cylinders and see what the pistons look like. With the motor overheating as badly as it was, hopefully we don't have some other piston damage or something because of that. I got a fresh toy from China here. Only the best Chinesium. Ooh. So I'm pretty excited about this new scope because it actually has 2 cameras. It's got one on top and it's got one on the side. So I'm pretty excited about that, because that's really going to make looking at valves and things easier on these cylinders. Let's take a look at this cylinder number 4, because its leak down was not looking so hot yesterday. Not the best angle. Let's flip to the other camera. Okay, so now we're looking at the cylinder wall. Okay, well there's your problem right there. That's broke. Yeah, so that there is pretty cracked. Got the valve there in view. Nice shot of that. Spin around, we got this partially open valve wherever we're sitting right now. That cracks, game over. So we get a hold of Wes and guess we get a fresh motor for this thing. We'll go from there. Okay, so 240 will sit for a little bit. We get a fresh motor for it, get it going. And for tonight, it's time to work on the E46. So let's get the welder back out and get that cage finished. We want to make the steering column mount for that tonight. So let's get the steering column mount going. Ooh, and I need a mount for the PDM. So a couple little things we'll get done on the cage. Let's get the CAD, get the plasma going. Should be fun. Alright, get my boxes welded in. Pretty excited about these. Finally gonna finish this thing. Those at the back corners. Finally coming together. That box is in, that box is in. Pretty much all the boxes are in, but I gotta do the top of this box. And the cage is just sitting here, so we just grab it and pull the cage over. And we should have good access to the top of that. I'll get it cleaned off and welded up. Alright, that looks good. What are you working on?
I am building a frame for the new fuel cell on Taurus.
Oh yeah? Here, we're gonna need this little guy. Ooh, new fuel cell frame? Nice. Did you pull the subframe yet? Or cut it?
I have not pulled this.
So, we do need to pull this subframe out so we can cut the tops of these off like we did on Tramp. That's looking nice. What step is this? 1057? How many years have you been working on Moose?
6 years now.
6 years?
6 years.
What was the decision originally to build a Miata? Was that Campbell?
Campbell had all the spare parts and the knowledge to be able to do what we needed to do. We also used Moose as a test bed for some ideas for the EP car. So we were trying out some different things.
What was the first race you ran in that car?
SCCA Enduro. When they did that Enduro thing a couple years back, the first race we did was the Enduro at Hallett, and it was like a 3-hour Enduro, and we did that and won. We actually even lost the exhaust halfway through, came back in and put new bolts in and double nutted them this time, and went back out and still won. Got that out. And then after that, it was just WRL and a lot of domination there.
Now, before that, you ran some SHOs?
Taurus SHO, yeah. We actually had a team, Showtime.
Showtime, huh?
Showtime, yeah. And we went to a lemons race, and the guys that won that race were some show guys out of Houston. We got to become friends with them, and that year I ended up running a 24-hour race with them out of the No Problems Weight Raceway.
I remember that.
In Louisiana. And then after that, the next year we formed a team, and we all ran together as a team. And that's when we took the title that year, because we had so many cars. And you got points for every car that entered the race.
How many SHOs did you run?
5.
You ran
5 SHOs.
A 5 SHO team.
Yes. And
wow.
We actually got a Grassroots Motorsports, got a double-page layout of all the cars lined up.
We'll have to get that.
Yeah, I got a copy of it.
You got the copy of that?
Somewhere stashed away. It is kind of cool.
Anyway, yeah. I've always heard of Chris's famous SHO, all SHO team. Alright, back to work. Okay, cage is welded in. What we need to do is grab the laptop. So we need to lay out a steering column mount. Okay, let's see here. BMW cage bits. So started drawing this up the other day. So here's the harness bar. This basically represents the plate of the steering column. So we can turn that off, and I put a sheet metal model around them. And it's got some mounting holes, and it's offset. So there's the harness bar, and here's the steering column coming up at an angle. Drawing the generic shape I wanted. Extruded, located the holes in the offset. Hopefully this is pretty close. So we'll just get the flat pattern of this. Yep, basically that. And probably want to perforate these bend lines to make it easy. Okay, there we go. Got some easy perforations in there. Okay, export to flat pattern. Once this is in sheet cam, we can just put our tooling in and have sheet cam make the G code for this. Alright, hopefully that's close. Alright, got that G code loaded. Got some material. Should be good. Hopefully. Yeah, no problem. All right. Come here. Hopefully we got this pretty close. We'll get it cleaned up here in a minute, but the awesome part about having the plasma cutter do stuff is that things just fit. It's not like I could have gotten this type of fitment by hand. Yep. Alright, clean this up. Alright, knock the slag off. Time to bend it up. I think it's pretty close, but I think I'm going to have to slot these holes just a wee bit. But like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, the holes aren't quite perfect, but the rest of it seems nice. Alright, it's little things like this that make these projects take forever, but there you go. Little steering rack mount. It's just one more thing checked off the list. We still have a window net to put in. Let's get that hardware and get that in too. Chris has got the laser out. Alright, our laser line on there. Get that cut out. So we're just gonna, same thing as last time, cut these tops off and weld plates on level. That way none of this sticks up above the frame rails. That way the fuel cell could sit as low as possible. Chris will keep going on that. Hey, there you go. You're gonna need that. Alright, last thing tonight. I got some packages in. Terry sent these over from Vorshlag. Oh, yes. Finally got headers in for the E46 build. So we got here, we got a transmission mount, got some engine mounts, and got a new collapsible steering column, so no more squishy steering. Pretty excited. These headers look awesome. And we also got an oil pan with the cutest little baffle ever. This is just a Holley rear sump LS oil pan, but apparently they work really well for this application, so check it out.
Man.
Yep, that's the real deal right there. Got a nice collector, expands up to 3-inch. Now we just need to get a 2-to-1 collector. Alright, I figured I'd give you all at least a quick update tonight, but I'm going to try and keep this one short. So I appreciate all of you that still come and watch these videos, and please, if you have a second, like and subscribe. I'm sure we'll find something fun to do this upcoming weekend, so stick around for that, and we'll see you next time.